Okay, very good morning to one and all. And today in the last class, okay, welcome to once again the VLSI design class. So in the last class we discussed about faults. Okay, there is a different type of faults. Okay, and now let's go to concentrate on testability, controllability, and observability. Okay, in the last class we discussed about the fault and fault models. Okay, and we discussed about the different type of fault that exists in the VLSI circuits, physical defects, electrical faults, logical faults. So all these faults we discussed in the last class, and what are the causes in order to get that type of faults in the VLSI circuits, okay, chips. Now let's go to controllability and observability. Now what is a controllability? So basically the controllability of a digital system is defined as the difficulty of setting a particular logic signal to either 0 or 1. Okay, remember. So a controllability of a logic system or digital circuit is defined as the difficulty of setting a particular logic signal to 0 or logic 1. In other words, you can say that the controllability is the ability to set some circuit node at certain logical values. Okay, in other words, you can say that the controllability is the ability to set some circuit nodes to a certain logical values. Okay, to a certain logical values. Okay, so similarly, the observability. Okay, how to define the observability? So basically, observability for the digital circuit is defined as the difficulty of observing the state of logic signal. Okay, observing the state of logic signal at a logic node. Okay, at the logic node from primary controllability logic node. Okay, by controlling the primary input and observing the primary output. Okay, by controlling the primary input and observing the primary output. So once again, so we can observability of the digital circuit is defined as the difficulty of observing the state of logic signal. Okay, observing the state of logic signal by controlling the primary input and observing the primary output. Okay, or in other words, we can say that the observability is the ability to observe the logic values of the internal nodes. Observe the logic values of the internal nodes. Remember, so there is about the controllability and observability. For example, if you consider, so what is the meaning of primary? What is the meaning of here? Primary input. Here, basically, the primary input refers to the input-output boundary of the circuit under test. Okay, basically, it is the primary indicates here the input-output boundary of the circuit under test. So the degree of the controllability and observability, and the degree of a testable circuit can be measured with respect to the test vectors generated deterministically or randomly. Okay, that is the main thing you remember here. So the degree of controllability and observability at the same time, the degree of the testability of the circuit you can measure with respect to the test vectors that is generated either deterministically or randomly. Okay, so that means, for example, if you consider the logic node, can be set to either logic 0 or logic 1. So remember, if a logic node, for example, any logic node can be set to either logic 0 or logic 1 only through a very long sequence of a random test vector. For example, you are having a random test vector. In this case, a node can be set either a single variable, there is the logic 0 and logic 1 only. In this condition, that node can be considered as a very low random controllability. Okay, we can consider very low random controllability. That means it's having low random controllability. Because the probability of generating, in this case, what is the meaning here? The probability of generating such vector in the random text generation is very low. Okay, that means we can generate that type of vectors is very low. Okay, that is the main thing. And similarly, so now let us consider, we are having the circuit, for example, simple circuit, let us consider here. Let's go, let us consider the simple circuit, this circuit in this case, which consists of a it consists of four simple gates. Okay, four simple gates in this case. Okay, we are having four simple gates. For example, you want to find either stuck at 0 fault or stuck at 1 fault in the logic circuit. Okay, you wanted either stuck at 0 fault or stuck at 1 fault in the logic circuit. And what is the test vectors we required in this case? Okay, so to detect the fault, basically, so to detect any fault on line 8 here. Otherwise, for example, you want to find out a stuck at 1 fault at this point. Okay, for example, on line 1, for example, it's considered here stuck at 1 fault on this line. So whenever you want to stuck at one line, stuck at 1 fault, that indicates whatever the logic is there on input A, okay, on line 1. Okay, if there is a stuck at 1 fault, that means this line is struck at 1. Okay, this line is struck at 1. So in this condition, so what happened here? Okay, in this condition, what happened? For example, now just observe here. Okay, so assume that this line is struck at 1. Okay, this line is struck at 1. That means this line is struck at 1. So when it is struck at 1, what is the fault-free output in this case and faulty output? Okay, assume that assume that there is no fault in the circuit. Okay, assume that there is no fault in the circuit, for example. Okay, assume like this. And remember, whenever because here we are going to analyze the path sensitization method. Okay, path sensitization method means whatever the fault is exists, that fault is transferred to the primary output. Okay, that fault is transferred to the primary input to the primary output. Okay, whatever the fault is exists, that fault is transferred, that is propagated to the primary output. Remember, that is the first thing you have to remember. So assume that means in order to make path sensitization, so whatever the fault is there on the line 1, that path will be through this AND gate and through this NAR gate to the output. Okay, this is called path of the corresponding fault must propagate to the output. Okay, so remember, this is the path. Okay, this is the path to move from primary input to the primary output. Okay, whatever the fault is existing, it may be a stuck at 0 fault or stuck at 1 fault. Okay, for example, another thing you have to remember in this case, this type of fault type of path sensitization method, that we are going to sensitize the path. We are going to sensitize the path so that that fault is propagated to the primary output, from the input to the corresponding point to the primary output. Okay, that is called path sensitization. At the same time, that is called forward path. Okay, similarly, we're having a backward path to find the test vectors. Okay, once you sensitize the path, okay, once you want to send, first thing is we have to sensitize the path so that the effect of the fault will be, that is the effect of the error, that is the effect of the defect, effect of the fault will be transferred, then propagated to the output. And then to find the corresponding test vectors, we must move towards the backward path to get the test vectors in this case. You know what is the test vector? The test vector is the vector that can be used to identify the path on the particular line. Okay, so that type of vectors we can call as the test vectors. We are having number of vectors. We have 4 inputs here. So total number of vectors we are having is 2 to the power of 4 combination. Okay, 2 to the power of 4 combination. Among these, only some factors are used to find the stuck at 1 fault on this line. Okay, to find the stuck at 1 fault on this line. So therefore, remember that point. So then, for example, what is the effect of this staggered one fault to the output? Okay, so whatever the voltage logic one, basically what happened, A is single variable, so it may be 1 or 0. It may be A is 1 or 0. In this case, either you can apply 1 or you can apply 0, right? Whenever this line is stuck at 1, so when you apply A is equal 0, the logic 0, always this line will take assign the value to logic 1 only. Okay, it assigns the value to AND gate to 1 only. That means this line is stuck at 1. Can apply either 1 or 0. This is always stuck at 1 only. So that is called stuck at 1. Okay, and stuck at 0 means it not take the value of the line 1 cannot assign the value to 0. It always take one value. Okay, in case of stuck at 1 fault. In case stuck at 0, this line will not accept logic 1 value. Okay, that is stuck at 0 fault. So now just observe here is stuck at 1 fault. Okay, so in order to propagate that fault to the primary output, so you can follow some conditions here. When the AND gate is there, okay, for AND gate, there are any number of inputs. Okay, AND gate is maybe 1, 2 input or 3 input or 4, any number of input. On one line, if there is a fault, okay, if it is stuck at 0 or stuck at 1 fault, it may be any one. So in order to propagate that fault to the output of the AND gate, the remaining input must be, we can place 1. Okay, remaining input must be 1. Remember that point. Okay, because for AND gate, the truth table, you know that 0, 0 is 0, 0, 1 is 0, 1, 0 is 0, and 1, 1 is 1. Okay, so only the whatever the logic is there on this line must be propagated to the output only when these two lines must be equal to one state. Okay, this is 1 and this is 1. Then only whatever the logic is there here, that will be propagated to the output. If it is 1 is there, that will be propagated. If 0 is there, that will be propagated. So therefore, the other input to the AND gate is must be 1. Similarly, in the NOR gate or NAND gate, so other input must be 0 to propagate the fault to the output. Okay, to its output. Okay, so remember these 2 points in this case. So therefore, whenever now let us go for the stuck at 1 fault. So in order to find the stuck at 1 fault, assume that the stuck at 1. Okay, this one is stuck at 1. So that means whatever the logic is there now in this case, when these two are 1, 1, so that 1 will be transferred to the output. You'll get 1 here, and this is 1 means to fault this move to the output means this is you have to get 0. Okay, then only you'll get go so what will get now? So this is 1 and this is 0. So you get the value is equal to 0. Okay, this is fault free, you can say. For example, when this is 1, the input is 1, and these two and this input is 1, 8 is 1, assuming that this is 1 and this is 1. Okay, when the logic 1 is applied and A, so you'll get the output is equals to 0. That is fault free. Okay, for example, if you apply 0 here, if you apply 0, what happened now? When 0, this one must go to 0. Okay, the line 10 is goes to 0. But what happened because of stuck at 1 fault, it cannot goes to 0. It is always stay at 1 only because of presence of this stuck at 1 fault. Okay, remember that point. Okay, when the stuck at 1 fault is there, so there is always 1. So that means we can consider that this 0 is the faulty output. When the A is 0, so this is the faulty output. Remember that point. Okay, so fault free means what is the fault free output here? Just observe. If this is 0, so this becomes 0. When this is 0, so 0, 0 is, we'll get 1. So if it is output is 1, then is when A is equal to 0, this is fault free. Fault free. And this is faulty. Okay, this is faulty. 0 means faulty. 1 is fault free when line is stuck at one fault. Okay, that is the condition I have to remember, right? Now just observe what is the test vector. Like this, we can sensitize the path from primary input to the primary output. Now, what is the test vector required? Okay, what is the test vector we require? So for this case, assume that now we forgot about this fault. We go for a fault only. So now stuck at one. Whenever they stuck at one, you have to find the test vector. Just remember, this is the fault line. So in this case, whenever you are having stuck at one fault, you place opposite value on this line. That means fault free. Okay, let us go for the fault free. Remember that point. Okay, so for to transfer the fault free circuit, we are going to assume this is logic. Place logic 0 for a stuck at one fault. To get the fault free condition, we are assuming that logic 0 you can place here. Okay, and the other input must be 1 for AND gate and 0 for the OR gate or NOR gate. NAND gate also can use 1. Okay, so now when this one, the effect of this fault will be moved to the output here. This becomes 0. Okay, so this becomes 0. So this is 0 and 0, and this is second input of the gate must be 0 here because an NOR gate here. 0 0 output is 1. Okay, this is the fault free OR gate. Okay, you forgot about this one. Assume that this is 1. When there is a fault is there. Okay, so this is the fault free output. When this is the fault free output, then the effect of the fault must be to get the test vector. To identify the test vector, we are going backward direction. Okay, so that means just observe here. This is 0 and this is 0. Now to get this 0, the 9 must be 1. Okay, 9 must be 1. Already we are setting this value is 1 here, so you will get the same value. 7 also 1. In order to get this 1 is 1, so already this value is 2 is 1 here. The 6 is also 1. The only way is these two values. It may be because this is the OR gate. It may be anyone. Is 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. It may be don't care and any value in this case. Okay, so we are going to represent here now in this case. Okay, so 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, what is the value now? A is 1, A is 0. Okay, A is 0 and B is 1 and C is first field is 0 0. Next is 0 1 1 0 1 1. So this is 0 1 0 1 and 0 1. Right? So this is the test vectors. So because we are having how many number of for 4 variable, because the inputs are 4, so 2 number of 4 combinations we require. That means 2 number of 4 means 64 combinations you will get. Among these 64 combinations, in order to identify the stuck at one fault, we require only 4 test vectors. Okay, so this test vector is used to identify the fault on this line 1. Okay, these are the test vector. So like this, you can find the test vectors to identify the stuck at one fault on this line. Instead of using 64 combinations, we can use only 4 combinations is sufficient, so that we can reduce the time. We can reduce the testing time by using this type of method. Okay, so that is the main important thing. So for example, sometimes, so what happened now in this case? For example, okay, is remaining whatever the fault is there here and primary inputs, primary outputs, no problem there. But whenever there is a fault on this line 8, okay, for example, there is a fault on the stuck at one fault on line 8, then what happened? Now we'll discuss. Okay, Now let's consider the stuck at 1 fault on line 8. Okay, so what happened now in this case? So just observe stuck at 1 fault on this line 8. Okay, we are having stuck at 1. SA1 stuck at 1 fault. Okay, assume that line 8 is stuck at 1. So there is a problem in this case. Okay, now we'll see what is the reconvergent fan out in this case. When it is stuck at 1, so the other two input must be 1, 1, right? In order to move the fault here. So because the stuck at 1, we are going to place 0 on this 8. Okay, 0 on this 8. So when this is 0, so that fault will be transferred to the output 1, so it becomes 0. It becomes 0. But in order to move the fault from this point to here, so it must be 0, right? It must be 0. But what we are getting now, we are not going to set the value now here. It is 0. We are going to set, because it's stuck at 0, 1. In order to get the fault free condition, it must be 1. If it is 1, you will get 0 here. Okay, you will get 0. But what happened? 0 we are going to place now here. Okay, it must be 1. So it must be 1 means in order to get the value 0 here, 7 must be 0. So there is some conflict will be exists. Okay, so that type of conflict we call reconvergent fan out. You can consider as the reconvergent type of cycle. Okay, is not fully controllable. Okay, is not fully controllable in this case. Okay, so therefore it's not fully controllable. So therefore the main difficulty in this circuit is the input A, B fan out is okay. Whatever the condition I discussed now here, B is having that 5 and 6. So these two will be already set here 1, 1. The fan out of the B is 1, 1, 1. And in order to get 1 here, okay, the line must be, and this is the signal will be transferred to that point here. So because of 0 and 1 in this case, just observe here. In order to get 1, so this is because of 0. In order to get 0 here, because the inverter you are getting 1 here in this case. So this must be 0 you have to get. Okay, it must be 0. If it is 0, you have to put 1 in this case. Then again, if it is 1, the fault will not be transferred. Okay, the effect of the fault will not. So there is a conflict will be exist. That type of condition is known as reconvergent fan out. You can call it as a reconvergent fan out. So if the reconvergent fan out means the testing is more difficult. Okay, testing is more difficult in this case. This type of fault exists in this case. Okay, that is called the reconvergent. So the testing of the reconvergent fault will be more difficult. Okay, so let's go to the next topic, that is the okay. So for example, sometimes you are having just now we discussed what we discussed. We are going to use the pass installation method to transfer the corresponding logic to the primary output. Okay, and then come back to the output, we get the load, get the testable test vectors there. Okay, so then so whatever the condition on this case, so if the large net input vectors are required for the test particular node to a value of 1 or 0, and propagate that propagate an error at the node to the output. Okay, then the testability we can call as the 0. That means we are having large number of input vectors. We are having large number of input vectors in the particular node, either it may be 0 or 1. So in order to propagate an error to at the node to the output, okay, from the primary area to the output. So it is that type of in this case the testability will be very, very low. Okay, that means the circuit having low controllability. The and testability in this case is low. That means the circuit which is having poor controllability include, it consists of a feedback and decoders and clock generators. If the circuit will consist of feedback, decoders and clock generators, which is having poor controllability, and also the circuit which is having poor observability, which consists of long feedback loops. Okay, it consists of include a sequential circuit with long feedback loop. Okay, which is having low, poor observability. The circuit will consist of a sequential circuit with the long feedback loop. Okay, similarly, the circuit which is having low reconvergent fan out and redundant nodes and also they're having embedded memory such as RAM, ROM, and PLAs. These are the having very poor observability. And what is the meaning of redundant in this case? Okay, so if the redundant gates are redundant node, particularly, that means if there is a problem, if there is a fault on the redundant node, so that node, whatever the error is exists on the redundant node, that cannot be detectable. Okay, that cannot be detectable. That is the main important condition here, redundant node. But sometimes we need these redundant nodes also. Okay, sometimes we need some, these are the redundant nodes, sometimes we require here. So that is about the, so we'll discuss redundant node afterwards. Okay, so that is about observability and also the controllability. Now let's go to the ad hoc testable design techniques. Okay, let's go to the ad hoc testable design techniques. So in the ad hoc testable design technique, okay, we'll discuss this topic in the next class. So I'm going to stop the screen now. We'll discuss this ad hoc testable design. It's a very easiest method. We'll see in the next class. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen now.